Today, I want to talk about how my mom and our village growing their own vegetable crops and other crops by using 5 natural fertilizers. Number one is human waste. Let me tell you a little background of our village so you know the situation. Why we use human waste for all our crops. So we live in an island surrounded by Yangzi River, and the island is a very wet island. In our village, everyone grow their own crops and their vegetables and raise their livestock to make a living. We grow rice, wheat, cotton, corn, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, mung bean, soybean, red bean, cotton, rapeseed oil for cooking. Our cotton is very tall, not like American cotton about 1 to 2 feet tall. Our cotton sometimes is more than 5 feet tall. I remember as a little, I always like to play and hide and seek, running around inside of the cotton. Nobody can see me. And plus all kinds of vegetables we grow. In our village, we have almost no electricity, no heater, and no air conditioner. During the daytime, if there's somebody in the house, we always leave the door open. In the evening, then we close the door. If we are not home, we just lock the door. So in each family, we have wooden water buckets. In my parents' house, we have 2 wooden buckets. One is in my mom's room and one is in Kate's room. Me and my 3 sisters share, and my brother is live on the other side of the room next to my parents. So we do number one in the bucket. Sometimes during the day when outside is so cold, and most time we do it during the evenings and at the night. It normally takes about 1 week for the wooden buckets to be full. Then my mom will use her shoulder to carry 2 water buckets with a long wooden handle to walk all the way, like 1 mile, all the way to her vegetable crop. Sometimes even walk longer, like 2 to 3 miles to other crops as well. She will dilute the human urine to the small neck of the water she get from and dilute it to mix. So my mom will mix the urine and the water and to spray on her vegetables. Normally, after you spread the mixture of urine and water on the vegetables, you will not harvest them. You will wait about 1 week to harvest. However, we never eat raw vegetables. Our vegetables always be cooked. The wooden bucket is pretty big. It's like about 20 gallons of water contains in that water bucket. In China, we have an expression, 肥水不流外人田. This means your fertile water will not run to other people's field. So I remember when I was little, I was playing in friend's house, and I had to do number one, and I had to rush home to do number one because I didn't want to waste. Okay, how did my mom collect number two? So in our village, we did not have toilet inside of the house. Our toilet is right next to the backyard door. There's a little shelter built by each family. Basically, the shelter is made of rice, dried rice stems, dried mud, a few tree branches, and made them together. So then there's a huge coarse porcelain made of a huge jar then all the way buried on the same level as the ground. So the jar is really huge. I am not sure how many gallons of waste can contain in that jar. Anyway, so as a little, after you are about 1 year old, everyone in the family learn to squat, because when we go to bathroom, we have to squat to do the business. I don't like to do number 2 outside during the hot summer, because during the hot summer it is really nasty, because there will be flies, mosquitoes, or any other insects flying around whatever there. Ugh, smell awful as well. But we did anyway. We have to. But also, I didn't like to do number 2 business outside when there's during the raining day. Suddenly, I had to go, and the roof will be leaking, and it's so nasty and unpleasant. When the waste tank is full, Mom will use 2 wooden buckets, and she has a long handle spoon, pretty deep, the spoon, and she will shove a spoon the waste to the 2 baskets. Before she spoons the waste to the 2 baskets, she will generally use the long handle with the spoon to store the waste, because the waste has number 1, number 2, plus the toilet paper. At that time, we did not have the toilet paper we are using nowadays. We just use the children's school notebook paper, which is like peel one and crumble it in our hands, and then make it soft to wipe. Then my mom will store all of them, mix them together, then spoon them to the 2 buckets. Then she will carry them all the way, walk from 1 to 2 miles all the way to field. One time I saw her to spoon the waste on top of the garlic, but not on the leaves, but on the base. On each of her trip, she will carry about 40 to 50 gallons of the waste into the field by walking. And the big tank of jar needs about 6 trips, which means 6 times 2 is 12, about 12 wooden buckets to be able to empty the big jar. Then my mom will wash, after she used the wooden buckets, she will wash the wooden buckets in a lake, normally right next to the garden. Then the lake is shared by community, and that lake is only used for dilute with the urine to fertilize your garden, or use the water from that lake to wash the wooden buckets, because the wooden buckets will be used at night again, and we normally sit on it to do number 1. Number 2 fertilizer my parents used is chicken poo, chicken and duck poo. So every year, my father and my mom will use eggs to hatch some chickens. So they'll also get a couple of duck eggs and let the chicken to hatch ducks. And those ducks will think the chicken is their mom. The little chickens are their siblings. The 2 ducks will follow chickens around. In our village, our house is made of dried mud. I don't know how they build, but it's dirt. And on the top of the ceiling, it's made of a mat, then made of soft bamboo stick. Put them together. I remember I know how to do that. When I was little, we all learned how to make a mat from a bamboo stick and from dried rice stems. Of course, that type of house leaking when raining. Here and there, we always have all kinds of parts here and there when it rains. Make a ding dong noise. Our chickens and our ducks will stay inside of the house when the weather gets dark. We have a little house about 2 feet tall right next to the front door. So every evening, chickens, ducks will come in and get into that little room. So every week or 2 weeks, my mom will collect chicken poo and duck's poo. On top of the chicken's room, there's a list my mom made of it by using the dried rice stems. So chicken during the daytime, chickens will go there to lay eggs. At this day, I still miss like about 4:35, and the male chicken will make goo 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 noise. I like that noise. It tells me, hey, it's about to get up. We have an expression when the male chicken say goo goo goo. We have expression said 大妈的屎胀了. It means your big aunt needs to do number 2. Because we grow wheat a lot, so we have bundles and bundles of dried wheat stems everywhere, and make a big pie over there. So sometimes, and actually very often, chickens will look for hay to lay eggs. And as a little, we wanted to please our parents, so we often just go outside and look for eggs inside of the hay. One time I found several chicken eggs. I was so happy. I brought them home and my mom was so happy. Fertilizer number 3 I want to talk about is ash that made from burning all kinds of dried stems from different of crops, such as dried wheat stems, dried rice stems, cotton stems. Our cotton grow very tall, so we have lots of dried stems. Soybean stems, mung bean stems, corn stalks, and all kinds of stems from crops. And when they're dried out, we will use this to burn, to make a fire for cooking. We did not have, like nowadays, we did not have any gas or any propanes or any charcoals. We only use what we have in our village. Like I said, we grow everything to feed ourselves, and so we use the natural resources to make fires. We have 3 meals a day. We have breakfast, lunch, and supper. And we have a stove, okay, made of some kind of dried mud with a few bricks. Don't know how my parents got a few bricks. Seldom you see bricks in our village. It's mostly just soil, dirt, dried mud building stuff. In our kitchen, we will have a big, about 3 feet tall stoves with a big pot on top of stove. On the other side of the stove, one person has to be there to constantly feed the fire with dried wheat stems. Before New Year come, we will save dried cotton stems and a few tree limbs to make fire during the New Year, because New Year we tend to cook more. In our village, the natural resources are limited. In each family's house, we have a few trees grow in the backyard to keep the soil from washing away by rain, because our land is made of dirt. It's very wet. And in our front, we have maybe 2 or 3 trees. Let them grow bigger. We are surrounded by Yangzi River, so during every summer, and the tides goes up, and possibility have a flooding situation from Yangzi River. So every spring, our parents and teenage, if you are 15 above, you have to go to field to build a big dam surround the village. In our front yard, we will have two big trees, and my parents will make a tree house during the summer. And when the tides goes up, kids will all sleep in the tree, in the house, on the tree. Our natural resources limited. The few tree branches we don't want to use the trees to cut down to make a fire. No, we can't. I remember when I first time came to USA, I saw all the trees lying down on the side of the curb of people's house. People just give away. I feel so bad because I feel what a big difference. When we grow up, we wish we could just found a little tree branch. I will take it home to make a fire, to make cooking. Nowadays in USA, so many resources. Life's so much easier in USA. I don't know how my mom use ash to apply on her vegetable garden or other crops. I did not see much. Only one time I saw is during the winter. She got some ashes and she took the ashes to the chive field. We have some chives growing in the garden. She will spread the ash around the chives. I remember that she did that. I didn't understand why she did that, but I didn't ask. When I was little, I seldom talk. My mom told me my first word to talk, I was probably 6. Oh, by the way, so at the evening, when we make a fire to make cooking, after finish cooking, the ash is still hot. So my mom always use a big porcelain jar, not say big, but about this big, this tall, this diameter, this tall porcelain jar, and she will put the soybeans inside, wash the dried soybean inside, and then put some water, and put some salt, I guess, because we only have salt at that time. So she will put some salt, and she will cover it. Then you put the jar inside of the ash, and the next day morning, it is amazing. It is done and it has a smoky flavor, but different than barbecue flavor in USA. It's very yummy. I love it. Fertilizer number 4 we talk about is pigs. So in our village, each family raises one pig. Some families there, I don't know where they have money come from, and they'll be able to afford to have 2 pigs a year. But my mom, she be able to raise 1 pig for the whole year. So the pigs will make poo and make a bunch of waste. So every 2 weeks, my mom will shovel the poo and carry to the field with her shoulder. In our village, each family have 1 pig to raise. We have a rope to keep the pig not running away. One end of the rope tied to the pig's neck, another rope tied to a stake. The stake is or a tree right next to it, so the pig will not leave. So the pig will poo in the same area, pee in the same area. That's how we collect the waste from a pig. We raise a pig. We don't get to eat the pig meat until before the New Year. Then we will have someone come from a village, and the 2 brothers, they know how to slaughter the pig. So they will slaughter the pig for my mom. Then we will give them some meat. And we also sell another half of the pig meat to city people to make a little bit better money, to use that money to buy salt and to buy soap. Material to make clothing if our clothing cannot be worn anymore because punched all over with holes. The other half of the pig meat, my mom will pickle it with lots of salt to preserve it. Then to let it dry in the air. In the same room me and my sister live in, just let it dry. Our clothing also dry. Daytime dry outside. If it's raining, dry inside in our room also. Every other day, my mom will slice a piece of pig meat, add steam on top of the rice, or stir fry with garlic greens. This is how my mom collects pig's waste. You probably wonder what our pig eat. Our pig eat the brown part outlap of the red rice. We normally take the rice with the brown part to the center of the village. They have a certain machine to separate the brown part of the rice. We will keep the white part of the rice for us, and the brown part we will mix with the water and to feed the pig. Normally, we do not use the clear water to mix with the brown part of the rice. We use the water that we use to wash the kitchen dishes. We have never heard kitchen detergent at that time. There's no such thing as kitchen detergent. We only wash dishes by clear water, that's it. So then the water still have the leftover of flavor of either rice or season, I'm not sure. And we also use the water we use to rinse the rice. And we will use that water and also to mix the brown part of the rice to feed our pig. We also use kitchen leftover scraps, if there are any, to feed our pig. As a little, my duty is every day I will take a basket to the field, look for wild plants that the pigs love to eat. Number 5 for tonight I want to talk about is water buffalo's waste. You know, a big water buffalo can make a huge big bundle of poo. And in the winter, you will see the big bundle of poo and have steam rises up. We will collect water buffalo's poo on the road to the field, and also water buffalo produces lots of waste inside of their bones. We will collect all the waste and to the desired location to let it compost. Fresh water buffalo's poo is very smelly. However, after compost it, the water buffalo's poo smells so good. I love that smell. Especially the dried one, composted dried ones. Dried composted water buffalo's waste is considered as brown gold. It has nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It's a slow release pure organic fertilizer. Very good for your soil structure and your microbes and for your plants. Dried water buffalo's composted manure can cause fire. I remember when I was little, we collected lots of water buffalo's poo in a house that right in front of our house. It caused fire because the internal heat is so high and the heat was trapped, then it caused the fire. When I was little, in the middle of the night, I woke up and suddenly I saw huge fire and the big house is on fire. So I called my sisters called my parents. My parents called our teams, the neighbors that live close to us, and they all come out, all brought their big bowls and water buckets and line up all the way to the lake and carry the water one by one to get rid of fire. I'm not sure how long did it take for them to get rid of the fire. Our water buffalo was shared by 5 families. These families are close neighbors that live close to my house, my parents' house. So we take turn to take care of the water buffalo. In spring and summer, we will take water buffalo to the field to eat fresh growing rice in the field. And in winter, we will feed the water buffalo dried stems from rice, cooked dried soybeans to feed the water buffalo. It was our turn to care for water buffalo. In the morning, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I will take my water buffalo to the field to eat fresh rice in the field. It is very far. You have to walk like about 2 to 3 miles. The field is very close to Yangzi River. The grass growing over there is pretty clean and more abundant than the grass on the side of the road. Our water buffalo is used to not for food but for till the large field. You probably wonder how much land do we have? We have no land. The government lend us the land according to how many members in your family, then give you such a land, not much. We did not have tools or machines that are used to work in the field. Every year we grow rice, and the government has to ask us to give a certain amount to the government for free. Those years we did not have much food to eat. And I remember my mom cooked a squash with a huge pot of water lunch for us to eat. Table was not sturdy, and we were all little, and we were all surrounded the table because the table wasn't stable, and the big ball turned over and landed on my left arm all the way from shoulder down here. The skin all burned out. So my arms were all burned from here down to here. The skin all, because the soup was boiled soup. My arms all peeled out all the way to here. The skin all immediately, the skin feels like melting and come out. So my mom grabbed my arm, stick my arm into the bucket of pee, the urine. I told you we had urine in the home. So my mom stick my arm into the urine. I didn't want to let my mom do it. Of course, my mom put my arm into the urine anyway. So here's a so I guess the urine calmed down the burning part. I'm not sure. I don't understand. Then after that, then my mom took me to the clinic. In our village, we have a little clinic. I guess urine to prevent from a scar or something, because it stopped the burning my skin further, and my arm skin is perfect. There is no scar. I want to tell you one more thing. So the water buffalo passed away a few years later. However, she had a little baby water buffalo, and the baby is cute, but the baby didn't know how to kill the dirt. So I don't know why it becomes my father's job. So my father took me with him to the field, because one person can't train the water buffalo. You have to lead the water buffalo walk straight, so the long pillar be able to till straight. At the beginning, water buffalo had no idea what to do. My father at the back hold the tiller and whip the water buffalo, but the water buffalo was not moving at all. And I was at the front, and there's a rope in my hand, and also rope tied water buffalo's head. Of course, my father also have a rope tied the water buffalo all the way back to the tiller. So the little water buffalo confused. He didn't know what to do, and my father whipped him. He still didn't know and didn't make movement. 30 minutes we were in the field. The water buffalo could only make 5 steps and didn't know what to do. My father got mad, got angry, and I didn't know what to do. I don't know what to help. Then suddenly my father had whipped one more time. The water buffalo suddenly run very fast. I was so scared because I was in the front of the water buffalo, and I had to run also. And also I know I have to run straight, because my father told me has to run straight so water buffalo can till dirt. So I had to run quick. I think I'm a pretty good runner. If I don't run, the water buffalo will run over me. So I run so fast, and my father also run after the water buffalo. Besides, he has to hold the tiller, be able to till the dirt. Hey, you know what happened? Because the water buffalo just keep running, then after to the end of the field, and then my father be able to make him stop. Then take a turn. Then water buffalo one whip, water buffalo run again. Then we all running in the field while till the dirt. So within 30 minutes, we finished tilling all the field. So the water buffalo learned how to till the field. My father was so happy. He was surprised the water buffalo run. We were all surprised, but he finally had a smile on his face. When my father had a smile on his face, that makes me happy, makes me so relaxed. When I think about how my parents garden, how they grow their own crops, they use all the natural resources they have. They use the system called soil feeds plants. Plants feed animals. Animals feed soil. Like a cycle. Do I use human waste in my backyard in USA? No. Answer is no. I am a little Americanized. I feel like it's so dirty. At that time, no problem. Everybody did the same way. Never thought about the dirty. But we never eat raw vegetables. We cook everything. Even tomatoes we harvest from garden. We will boil the water, then wash the tomato, big huge tomatoes, then put the tomatoes into boiling water for a couple seconds, then take the tomatoes out, then peel the skin. Then we can eat the tomatoes as a salad. So the way we cook, everything kind of safe to eat crops, then fertilized by all kinds of wastes from different animals. I hope you like this video. Thank you for your time watching this video, and see you next time.